Ngobrol Inggris?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the YNI podcast. I'm your host, Sarah, and I am so happy you are here with us today. How are you feeling? Are you ready to learn some English?
Hello, listeners. I'm Walter. And yes, we are ready. Although, Sarah, you seem a little too excited for this time of day. It's only morning.
Oh, come on, Walter. It's a beautiful day to learn something new. But before we start our big topic, I want to ask all of our listeners to do something special. Please, wherever you are, on the bus, in your room, or walking your dog, just take a deep breath. In and out. Relax your shoulders. Don't worry about understanding every single word right now. Just listen. Let the English flow into your ears. Ready? Okay, let's begin.
That was very nice, Sarah. Very calming. I feel like I am at a spa, not recording a podcast. Maybe next week we can do the whole show in a sauna?
Maybe not a sauna, Walter, but yes, relaxation is key. So today's topic is something we all experience almost every day. We are talking about first impressions.
Ah, first impressions. The moment you meet someone new and your brain immediately decides if they are nice, scary, boring, or interesting.
Exactly. Have you ever met someone and thought, wow, this person is amazing, within 2 seconds? Or maybe the opposite. Oh no, I don't like this person.
Oh, definitely. But here is the big question for our listeners. Do first impressions really matter, or should we wait to know someone better?
That is the million-dollar question. Some people say you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Others say don't judge a book by its cover. What do you think, Walter?
Well, scientifically, I think they matter a lot. Studies say we decide if we trust someone in less than 7 seconds. 7 seconds! That is not even enough time to say your full name and shake hands.
7 seconds? That is crazy. In 7 seconds, I can only say, "Hi, I'm Sarah. Do you like coffee?" And then boom, judgment made?
Basically, yes. If you look friendly, people think you were friendly. If you look angry or tired, people think you were difficult. It's not always fair, but it is human nature.
Wow, okay, so it is super important. But let's be honest, sometimes our first impressions are completely wrong, totally wrong. Walter, do you have a story about a bad first impression you had? Maybe one that was funny later?
Let me think. Yes, I have one. It was my first day at a new job, many years ago. I walked into the office and I saw a man sitting at a desk. He was wearing very old clothes, his hair was messy, and he was eating a sandwich with his feet up on the desk.
No way! Feet on the desk? In an office?
Yes, and he didn't even look up when I walked in. I thought, oh no, this company is a disaster. This man is probably the lazy boss who doesn't care about anything. I was very nervous. I tried to walk quietly to my desk.
And then what happened? Did he yell at you?
No. Later, in a meeting, the real boss stood up and said, I want to introduce our new head of technology. And guess who stood up? The man with the messy hair and the sandwich.
You are kidding! The messy man was the boss?
Yes, and he was actually a genius. Very kind, very smart. He just didn't care about formal rules. My first impression was 100% wrong. I felt so embarrassed.
Oh, Walter, that is such a classic story. See, listeners, this is why we must be careful. We judged him by how he looked, not by who he was. Which brings us perfectly to our first idiom.
Ah, yes, the idioms section, our favorite part.
So the first idiom is, don't judge a book by its cover.
Let's break that down. A book has a front picture, which is the cover. Sometimes a book has a beautiful cover, but the story inside is boring. Or a book has an ugly cover, but the story is amazing.
Exactly. So the meaning is do not decide what something or someone is like just by looking at the outside appearance. You need to look deeper. In Walter's story, the boss had a messy cover but a great story inside.
Correct. Here is an example sentence. That restaurant looks small and old, but don't judge a book by its cover. The food is the best in the city.
Perfect. Okay, my turn to share a story. Mine is a little more embarrassing than yours, Walter. Sorry, listeners.
Oh, this will be good. Please continue.
Okay, so last year, I went to a party. I wanted to meet new friends. I saw a woman standing alone near the snacks. She looked very serious. She was wearing dark glasses indoors and she wasn't smiling. I thought, she seems cold. Maybe she doesn't like parties. Maybe she's rude.
So you avoided her?
At first, yes. But then I dropped my drink. Sound effect. Crash. Clatter. Oops, it went everywhere. I was so shocked. And suddenly, this cold woman rushed over. She grabbed napkins, helped me clean up, and started telling me funny jokes to make me feel better. She was actually the kindest, funniest person at the party. She just had bad eyesight and a headache. That's why she wore glasses and didn't smile.
So another wrong first impression. You thought she was cold, but she was warm.
Yes, and that leads to our second idiom. The idiom is to jump to conclusions.
Imagine you are standing on one side of a river. You need to get to the other side. Instead of walking across the bridge slowly, you try to jump all the way across. Usually you fall in the water.
That is a great image. So to jump to conclusions means to decide something is true very quickly, without having all the facts or information. You make a decision too fast.
Basically, yes. If you saw the woman with glasses, she immediately thought she is rude. She didn't wait to talk to her. She jumped to a conclusion.
Here is an example. I saw my neighbor carrying a box late at night, and I jumped to the conclusion that he was moving away, but actually, he was just bringing home new furniture.
Good example. It is very easy to jump to conclusions when we are nervous or in a hurry.
Absolutely. And speaking of being nervous, let's talk about job interviews. That is a situation where first impressions are everything. Walter, have you ever interviewed someone who made a terrible first impression?
Oh, yes. Once a candidate came in 5 minutes late. He didn't say sorry, he didn't shake my hand, he just sat down and started checking his phone.
Oh no, that is a disaster.
It was. But here is the funny part. On paper, his resume was perfect. Great grades, great experience. But because of those first 2 minutes, I already decided I didn't want to hire him. It is hard to change that feeling.
That brings us to our third idiom. This one is very common in business and social life. The idiom is to get off on the wrong foot.
Imagine you are starting a dance or maybe a race. You're supposed to start with your right foot, but you accidentally start with your left foot. Now your rhythm is strange. Everything feels awkward from the beginning.
So to get off on the wrong foot means to start a relationship or a situation badly. You make a mistake at the very beginning and it makes everything else difficult.
Exactly. In my story, the candidate got off on the wrong foot by being late and ignoring me. Even if he answered the questions well later, that bad start was still there.
Example sentence. We got off on the wrong foot during our first meeting because I forgot his name, but luckily, we became good friends later.
See, you can fix it. Just because you get off on the wrong foot doesn't mean the friendship is over. You just need to work harder to fix it.
True, but ideally, we want to start correctly, right? So how can we make a good first impression? Let's give our listeners some practical tips. Simple things anyone can do.
Tip number 1.
Smile. It sounds simple, but it is powerful. A smile tells people, I am friendly. I am happy to see you.
Yes, and you don't need a huge, crazy smile, just a natural, warm smile. It changes your face completely. Tip number 2, make eye contact. But not too much. Don't stare like a robot.
Staring like a robot is not recommended. Just look at their eyes when they speak, and look away naturally sometimes. It shows you are listening and confident.
Tip number 3, listen more than you speak. Many people are so nervous that they talk very fast about themselves. I did this, I like that, I went there. Stop. Ask questions instead. How about you? What do you think?
People love talking about themselves. If you let them talk, they will think you are a wonderful conversationalist, even if you only said 3 words.
That is a secret hack. Just ask questions and nod. Tip number 4, dress appropriately. You don't need expensive clothes, but wear something clean and suitable for the situation. If it's a beach party, wear shorts. If it's a job interview, wear a shirt.
And tip number 5, be on time. Being late sends a message that you don't respect the other person's time. Arrive 5 minutes early, take a deep breath, then go in.
Those are great tips. Smile, eye contact, listen, dress well, and be on time. Simple but effective.
Now, Sarah, I think it is time for our mini role play. Shall we demonstrate a good first impression versus a bad one?
Oh, yes, let's do it. Okay, listeners, imagine this is a job interview. Walter will be the interviewer and I will be the candidate. First, let's do the bad version. Ready, Walter?
Ready. Let's see how bad you can be.
Hey, sorry I'm late. Traffic was crazy. Anyway, I'm Sarah. Can I sit? Oh, wait, do you have Wi-Fi password? My battery's low. So what's this job about? I need money, basically.
Well, that was, energetic, but perhaps not the best approach.
Terrible, right? I didn't smile, I was late, I talked about myself, and I asked for Wi-Fi immediately. Okay, now let's reset. Same situation, but the good version.
Okay, action.
Good morning. May I come in?
Yes, please. Come in, Sarah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Walter. Thank you for having me. So might have you sitting?
I arrived a few minutes early to find the building. It's very nice. I'm really excited to learn more about this position. That is much better. You smiled, you were polite, and you showed interest.
Thank you. See the difference? In the second version, I took a breath, I smiled, and I focused on him, not on my problems.
Exactly. The energy in the room changed completely. In the first one, I felt stressed. In the second one, I felt relaxed and interested in hearing more.
That is the power of a first impression. It sets the mood for the whole conversation.
Before we finish, let's review our idioms quickly for our listeners. Repetition helps memory.
Great idea. Number 1, don't judge a book by its cover. Remember, appearances can be misleading. Look deeper.
Number 2, to jump to conclusions. Don't decide too fast without all the information. Wait and listen.
And number 3, to get off on the wrong foot. This means starting a relationship badly. Try to avoid this, but remember, you can always fix it.
One more thing. Is there an idiom for fixing a bad first impression?
We could say to clear the air. That means to talk honestly about a problem to make feelings better, or simply to make it up to someone.
Good additions. So, if you get off on the wrong foot, try to clear the air later.
Exactly. Listeners, don't worry if you make a mistake. We all do. Even Walter and I make mistakes sometimes. Right, Walter?
Oh, constantly. Just yesterday, I waved at someone thinking it was my friend. It was a stranger. They looked very confused. I think I got off on the wrong foot with that poor person.
See, it happens. Just smile, laugh about it, and move on. The most important thing is to keep practicing. Keep listening to podcasts like this one. Try to speak English with new people. Don't be afraid of making a bad first impression. Just be yourself, be kind, and stay open.
And remember, other people are judging you, but you were also judging them. So try to be the one who gives others a chance. Be the one who doesn't jump to conclusions.
Beautifully said, Walter. That is a perfect way to end our discussion. To summarize, first impressions happen fast, but they aren't always right. Smile, listen, and be curious about people, and learn those idioms.
Yes, practice using "don't judge a book by its cover" this week. Try to use it in a sentence when you meet someone new.
Great challenge for our listeners. Write down a sentence in the comments or say it out loud to your mirror. I met a quiet person today, but I won't judge a book by its cover.
Excellent practice.
Well, that's all for today's episode of the YNI podcast. We hope you enjoyed learning about first impressions with us. Remember to take a deep breath, relax, and enjoy your English journey.
Thank you for listening. Keep practicing and don't worry too much about being perfect. Just communicate.
Yes, you are doing great. We believe in you. See you next time on the YNI podcast.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.